Welcome everyone, I'm Annihilator and today I've got a special project for you. We are building Mumbo Jumbo's realistic elevator with doors and remote call. It took me a really long time to get this right, so let's get into it. Welcome everyone. If this is slightly familiar to you, it should be this is Mumbo Jumbo's realistic elevator, although I've changed the visual design a bit. Otherwise, it's exactly the same design. So if I just now go inside and push a button, it works perfectly. So we can then go in. After I adjust my volume down a bit there, yeah, that was a little loud. All right, so we go inside, oops, hit the button, and off you go. Okay, so, and there we go, we're now on the top floor. So how do we build this? Let's get busy. As you can see, this has got quite a bit of redstone going on in it. This is the most complicated build I've ever made. I'm not a professional redstoner, and it took me an age to figure out the mechanics behind this, but let's get started. So we're going to first go through how this works. So this is a daylight sensor. It works with that piece of orange wool up there, and this is what sends a signal downstairs to call the elevator. This is the obsidian downstairs here stops the actual elevator from when it comes down, and the redstone here transmits the signal. Those buttons there transmit the redstone pulse into this redstone here, which feeds it along and gets boosted by that redstone repeater over there into the dispenser, which dispenses a bucket of water, and that bucket of water goes into this column of water, which then gets picked up by that observer, which then feeds it into this redstone line around the top here. And that will then go into the doors on the top and the bottom, and that will call the elevator down. So the first things first, we're going to start at the bottom here, and we're going to go from there. Okay, so the first piece we're going to put down is this piece of obsidian here, one block up. Then you're going to leave a space of 2 blocks, and on the third block, another piece of obsidian there. Then, if it helps if I build it, so 1, 2, like that. Then you want a piece of obsidian there. Then what you want to do is grab more of your wool of your choice and do that on both sides. All right. Right, so something like that. Now all you're going to do is populate that with redstone like that. And on these two sides here, one there, like that. And now another one like that. All right, so that is the first circuit done. All right, that triggers the bottom observers for the elevator to make it go up and down. Now what you want to do is take an additional 2 pieces of wool there, additional 2 pieces of wool there. All right, now what we're going to do here is go up 2 blocks there, break that one, and then we're going to go out to there. This is going to be our daylight sensor. So what we're going to do is put a daylight there, then 2 redstone comparators facing inwards there, and another one there. Now you would put a piece of redstone there, but don't put it there for now, or you might trigger the mechanism accidentally. All right, and then 2 more pieces of redstone there. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go up to like that, and we're going to put another block there temporarily and one like that. Then you want to put a redstone repeater facing that way like that, and now 2 more pieces of wool going in a straight line like that. All right, now we're going to go into our blue wool because this is a different circuit. So 2 pieces there like that, one like that, and now we're going to run across here. All right, now don't forget your redstone across here, there, and there, a redstone repeater here, so one after the obsidian here, 2 more spaces, and then on this block we're going to put in our dispenser, which I need to grab quickly. All right, so there's my dispenser, and I need to put the dispenser there. Okay, now a piece of soul sand there. All right, all in all, you should have something that looks like this. This is the bottom circuit complete. So now it's going to start getting a little more tricky. So let's get busy to step 2. Okay, the next step is building our floors and our buttons, where our buttons go. So what we're going to do is we're just going to put down temporarily 2 blocks here, and I'm using blast furnaces for this. You must use something that slime blocks will not stick to. So they don't stick to things like shulker boxes and blast furnaces, things of that nature. So we're going to be using a lot of that in this build. I like the look of the blast furnace, that's why I'm using it. All right, and it's easier to get than a shulker box. Shulker boxes, you could use them in this, but it's a really expensive resource. So this must be in line with the 2 gray pieces of wool. Once you've placed in your 2 furnaces, you can put 2 buttons of your choice on top like that. I'm just going to put some blocks in here to extend the floor out. And now I'm going to do the same 1 block in front, just as a temporary measure. Now, put 2 pieces of glass like that on either side, 2 pieces of slime there and there. Same thing on this side, slime block, slime block. Now I'm going to put 2 pieces of quartz on top, just as a temporary building measure. And now what you want to do is you want to go out 2 blocks like that. And on where that piston is, you want to put in another piston like that. Do the same thing on this side. Whoops, a little bit that. There we go. Now what you want to do is you want to put in a blast furnace there, a blast furnace there, and an additional 2 blast furnaces there and there. All right. You don't need one there and you don't need one there. Now what we need is hoppers. So you're going to put in a hopper facing down on top of that one. Now put 1 temporary one there. Now break it out like that. So you should have something that looks like that. Now repeat the process on this side. So hopper there, temporary hopper there, break it out. So you should have something that looks a little bit like that. Now put redstone dust all the way across the top like so. And the last thing on this side is you want 2 more blast furnaces there and there. Guys, it doesn't have to be blast furnaces. Anything that won't stick to slime blocks you can use. Glazed terracotta, whatever. I just like the look of the blast furnace for building. Now what we're going to do is you're going to take your wool or whatever block you want, come out 2 blocks and put a repeater facing inwards like that. Now you're going to come out 6 blocks, including this one. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And on the 6th block, you want to come out 1 like that. And now we want to put on wool all the way across. Now we will need some redstone. So we need a redstone block. All right. And we need a piece of obsidian. So we'll just take that one. Take your redstone block, put it there. All right. And it should do something like that. Okay. Now what you need to do is you want to go out a couple of blocks here. So we will need a piston here. So we're just going to go out 2 there and put in a piston like that and a piece of obsidian like that. There should be this 1 spacing gap between the 2, because when the observer, when we build next, comes down, it'll then feed power through this obsidian block into that, triggering the retracting the redstone block and opening the doors for us. Okay, so that is how our doors are going to open on the ground floor. All right, so we're making good progress. That is basically the bottom done. That's the bottom whole elevator system complete. Now comes the tricky bit. I'm going to go up minimum of 20 blocks for the next floor. Now, you don't have to go up 20. I'm going up 20 because it's a convenient height for me to build at. The minimum you must go up is 3. Any lower than 3 and your mechanism is going to interfere with what's below it. Right, so we've got our in line with our bottom doors. So I went up 20 from where our floor is going to be. So I'm just going to run this backwards again. Right, so that's going to be our next floor. You can see this one's a little bit higher than that one, just to show you can actually do this. Okay, so the top one layer, step 3, is going to be a little different, as we need to remember our doors are open here. So all I'm going to do for now is I'm going to leave the doors open. So I'm going to put them glass as they would be in the open position like that. What I am going to do is I'm just going to put in my two central building blocks like that. Now what you need to do again is put down your non-sticky blocks. So like that. All right, so you'll have something that looks a little bit like that. Now we need our slime blocks on either side of the glass. Then we need a sticky piston like that. Same on this side. All right, and now the final step here is our hoppers again. All right, we don't need any more of those, so we're just going to put a hopper there, hopper there, hopper there, and a hopper there. And now we're just going to connect it all with some redstone. Right, so then you should have something that looks a little bit like that. Now what we're going to do, the next step is going to be our carriage. So how this thing goes up and down. For that, you're going to need some quartz, not red. Now, quartz, I'm just using quartz because it looks nice. And then this is also very important. You need some glazed terracotta. So I'm just going with the black glazed terracotta. And I'm not really going to worry about putting this in a pattern, or this tutorial is going to be too long. So I'm just going to build a carriage very quickly. So you need 2 blocks there. Come out to like that. And like that. Okay, I'm actually building this the pattern's completely wrong, but you get the gist. Like that. And now you just need to put your roof on. Right, this is why you need to put this non-sticky blocks, because when these doors close, what happens is the slime will stick to this quartz, if this is a quartz wall, and it would break the whole elevator. It's done it to me repeatedly. That's why you have to use a non-sticky block on the inside here. So I just chose the terracotta because it looks nice. Okay, now you need to put the back wall on, and it's the same principle again, just 2 blocks. And that is essentially your elevator that you're going to ride in. Okay, now we get to the actual honey blocks and slime blocks. So we've already got the honey block or the slime blocks in our inventory, and I'm going to need a piston, and I'm going to need that observer as well. So we need those. Don't need any more hoppers. Right, so first things first, if you're using slime here, you can use honey blocks for this, but if you are, depending which one, you have to use the opposite. So here you're going to come out 2, and then you're going to come out 2 like that. So it looks like a bit like a U shape. Then next to it, you're going to do the same with slime, because honey blocks and slime blocks don't stick to each other. It's the only way this works is because we've got those 2 blocks. All right, like that. And you come out 2. So you'll have something that looks a little bit like that. 2 orange and green U shapes. Then for the back wall, what you want to do is just put down 3 blocks there, and an additional 3 blocks there. So it looks something a bit like that. Now comes the little bit tricky part. Our observers and pistons. So first observer is going to go there. So you want the red dots facing down on all 4 sides. All right, same thing on this side. The red dots facing down. Then your pistons need to face down as well, like that. Okay, so you should have something that looks a bit like that. Observer, piston, and the same thing on this side. Observer, piston, observer, piston. Now what you're going to do, you're going to put down 2 pieces of slime blocks there. Same thing on that piston there. Another 2 pieces of honey there. Another 2 pieces of honey there. Then you want your observer. Now this observer has to be facing the red dot facing up like that. All right. Then again, your pistons need to be facing upwards like that. All right. All right. Congratulations, everybody. You've just built your first flying machine here. So you've got a observer, piston, slime block. Then the same thing here. observer, observer, piston, piston, slime block, slime block. Now, if you had to put any redstone across these phrases currently, your machine will take off. It will fly. So what you're going to have to do with this, be very careful while building this. Every time you build a component, sorry about that. Every time you build a component, make sure you make a backup save. So go into your Minecraft folder and copy this world you're in. So copy it somewhere else because it's really frustrating. This has taken me a really long time to get this build right. Now we need to do the back wall. So again, same principle applies. You want a observer facing down like that. So the red dot there. Then you want your sticky piston there, sticky piston there. Now we want to do the same for this. So you want a sticky piston. Well, first things first, you want your observer. So we just need to drop down a bit. All right, so we've done that. Again, your red dots need to be facing up. Come on. There we go. Sticky piston there, sticky piston there. And again, slime block, slime block there, and honey block, honey block. All right. So you should have something that looks like that. All of these observers need to be on the same level because when they hit the obsidian down there, that's how they're all going to stop at the same time. Okay, now we have to put the upper stoppers in because if you don't put these in, your flying machine is going to fly into space. So on these outer edges here, 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 and there. So on all the outer slime blocks, that is where you're going to put your obsidian to stop your machine from flying away. Now what you're going to do is again take your observer, put it on this block I'm looking at here, face it that way, then take a sticky piston and put it there. And now we need a block of redstone. Okay, like that. And just attach it like that. All right. So basically, when this elevator gets to the top here, it will then send a pulse into this redstone block or into the piston, which will extend the redstone block, which will power that redstone and tell it to stop. All right. Now, that is coming along just fine. We're getting actually really close, guys. This should be functional quite quickly. Now we need to do the wiring for the rest of this. Okay, so the next step is building our buttons in our elevator, or a circuit for those buttons. So we're going to put in 2 buttons there. Then we're going to come out 3 blocks. I just need some wool. So some orange wool will do nicely. And we're going to come out 3 blocks, 1, 2, and 3. Left hand side, also 3 blocks, but slight difference. 1 block there of wool. Then you need a little bit of glass, just 1 block there, and then wool there. Then underneath that wool, you need a sticky piston. So we're going to grab that there and another piece of wool in front of it. So it should look something like that. And now again, the obligatory redstone running all the way across the top. Okay, so our next step is we're going to come this side, 1, 2, and then the third one, we're going to go up like that. You want to put your redstone repeater facing there. Then you want a piece of redstone there and there. Now we're going to come down 1, 2. So that counts as 1, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And across 2, 1 and 2. Then we're going to come down another 2 blocks, 1 and 2. Then we're going to put in some redstone again. So there we go. And then here you need to put in another repeater facing that way. So firing inwards, and a piece of redstone there. Now this, you need to do the same thing on this side. So again, 1 and 2. On the third block, you're going to go up like that. And redstone repeater there. Piece of redstone dust there and there. And now some more orange blocks, or wool blocks. Go there like that. So we're in line with that observer there. 1 and 2. then additional 2 there, like so. Now we're going to go additional 2 blocks there. Now we want to come down, 1 there, an additional 1 there, break that 1 there, 1 block there, and like that, because there is an observer that's going to be facing not that way, but that way, and a redstone repeater there. And now we're going to put some redstone there, another redstone repeater there. Okay, now you should get a gist of how this is working. Now the last step here is we need some normal pistons, not sticky pistons, normals, and you're going to want to put those here, so facing over the top of these observers. So you're going to do another one here as well, if I can get it. There we go. And we're going to repeat that on this side. Okay, and then the final step is here, same thing, 1 and 2. All right, so your pistons are going to be treating those observers, and then once that column comes up all the way with the water, it will then trigger this observer, and then the flying machine will then fly downwards. Right, and that is a circuitry. Nearly, small mistake here. That needs to be there, like that. All right, perfect. So it just needs to look something like that. Okay, beautiful. Now what you need to do is take an observer and place it there. All right, so 1 layer below the obsidian and 1 above the observer with a redstone signal facing backwards, because that is going to get triggered down there. We need to build our glass shaft, so this is pretty much self-explanatory, not there. So we're just going to build a column of water here all the way to the top, so I'll be back when we've done that, so I don't bore you with that. Our shaft is complete. We've put in our observer there. Guys, as I said, make regular backups. The last thing you want to do is this not to work. This will drive you absolutely nuts if you now build this and then something breaks because you put a repeater in backwards, or slime block got stuck to something it shouldn't get stuck to. So make regular backups in every step of the way. Trust me, you'll save yourself a lot of frustration. Okay, so I'm busy filling up this elevator with buckets of water to send the redstone signal through it. So you need to fill it all the way to the top. Okay, now what I do suggest you do is you just break the redstone repeater there, because that will trigger it. Then we're going to put it back. Actually, I'm going to leave it broken for now because I don't want to trigger this prematurely. Then you're going to put a bucket of water inside the dispenser. Make sure your dispenser is facing the column of water. And now I'm going to put the repeater back. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's give this a try. We should be good to go. I filled up the water. I have reconnected the repeater down there. And so let's see what happens. Okay, so we've got excellent. We've got takeoff. That is something that just happens. I don't have no idea how to fix it, but and voila! And now if I'm right, we can. And there you go, guys. A working redstone elevator as per Mumbo Jumbo. There's not much I know how to do to fix the delay there, but it's just part of redstone mechanics. But there we go. I hope you enjoyed. This took me a very long time to get right. Just make sure you follow all the dimensions correctly and you should be good to go. Until next time, cheers for now. Well, everyone, that took me an awful lot of time to get right. Building something via watching just Mumbo's video, and because he doesn't, in that one was not a tutorial, it was just a proof of concept. So I hope you enjoyed. As I mentioned, it took me a lot of hours watching and rewatching the video to get all the circuits right, and eventually I did get it right. So just make sure you follow the instructions correctly and you'll be good to go. Till next time, keep safe, keep well. Remember to smash that subscribe button, give the video a thumbs up, and do the doobly-doo down below. Until then, cheers for now.